What is going on, guys? So today we've got a fun little video for you guys, but it's going to be real quick. So a lot of times, this is a thing, and you can use them on NA cars, turbo cars, things like that. I think you mostly see them on turbo cars, to break things like the turbo and such. But they're catch cans. So for those of you who don't know what a catch can is, a catch can is a little device/container that goes in between typically the PCV or the engine breather to the intake. So typically that hose is letting off excess pressure in the engine to be recirculated through the engine. But the problem is sometimes it can push out oil, right? And then you're getting oil in your intake, getting it in your intake manifold, you're getting it on your sensors, etc. So it's really not the best thing. So a lot of the times what happens is when that oil is blowing through your intake, especially on a turbo, right, you're getting that oil in your turbo as well, which isn't that great. So what we have here instead is what's called a catch can. So a catch can is usually a round shape actually, but in this shape it's square because I like the shape of it, I like the design a bit more. But this is used to stop oil flow. It catches the oil, it separates it from the air, and then you just drain the oil when it gets full. So this one, because catch cans can go anywhere from, you know, your typical eBay $10 one all the way up to like 150 plus. So in this one, what the style I went for, so this is actually an eBay catch can. So this was about 20 bucks. It's a DNA brand, and it came with hose that I probably will not be using, some mounting hardware, and hose clamps along with some fittings for it. So the fittings just screw right into here. It's pretty nifty little design. It's actually not bad for that. You get a little oil level, so you can see how old the oil is. That's your oil drain right there. But part of the issue, now this would work as is, but part of the problem, and now I don't know how well you guys can see it, is if you look in here, there's actually no baffles. So on a nicer one, they'd have baffles installed, so that way you're really separating that oil from the air. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to install this, but while installing it, we're also actually going to take this apart, which is another nice design about this one, and then modify it in a way that it's going to actually baffle and separate the oil and air even better. Alright, so we got the catch can taken apart here. So here's the deal with eBay catch cans, right? As you can see, it's completely hollow on the inside. Now, it would still work and it would still separate some oil, but it wouldn't separate nearly as much as if you had baffling in there. Baffling can be kind of hard to create if you don't have all the proper fabrication tools and stuff like that. So to keep this easy, for an easy tutorial, we are actually just going to go pick up some big stainless steel wool. So the deal with stainless, you have to use stainless steel wool though. It has to be stainless. Because if you just use a regular one, it can actually rust and corrode and break up, and then that's the last thing you want to be doing is sucking it into your intake. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to go pick some of that up. We're going to stuff it till it's completely full, all the way to the brim, and then we're just going to seal it back up. The bottom's right there, has a little gasket, and then we're going to be putting Teflon on all the fittings and getting them sorted out. For mounting, we're probably going to end up mounting it somewhere about right here. Maybe even over here. Still working on figuring that out. Alright, so I just pulled off our breather hose right here. So on most engines, you have a PCV valve. This doesn't have a PCV valve. But on most engines, you'll do this. They'll have a breather hose or a PCV valve that comes usually from the valve cover somewhere into the intake. So in this one, see it's got this 45-degree elbow that goes right there. So this is the hose that we need to tap into. The only issue I don't like about this, right, is they're way too small. Some other kits come with different size nozzles, but what we're going to probably do is we'll take these with us, one of these with us. So we're going to go to a hardware store in order to get the stainless steel wool or scrubbing pads, whatever you want to call them, and hope maybe they have different size barbs in their pipe fitting section, or we can find something to adapt to this size of a hose. So either way, we're going to take this. We're going to probably need 3 feet of hose, I'd imagine, at least. So we'll get somewhere around 3 feet of hose, and then we will be good. Here we are at Lowe's, and 248. That's what we need right there. I'm trying to decide if we need more than one. Because if we tangle it a little bit, spread it out. It's just over in the kitchen cleaning area. Let's see. I think that'll be enough. We can spread them out. I don't know. We'll try that. I think that'll be good. Now we're gonna go look for their fittings. Alright, so here's what we found. I couldn't find any threaded ones that would change it directly. So, I'm gonna try this. They're like just over $1 each. They seem pretty solid. They're brass or copper. I'm gonna paint them probably to help with corrosion. And then they just adapt the hose to the smaller size. They're like perfectly sized. I could have made some threaded together ones, but would have cost like $15. Alright guys, so we're back at the garage, so I'm just going to go over everything we have and then dig right into it. So the steps that we're going to do is we're going to finish modifying up the this catch can. I couldn't think of the stupid word. Finish modifying that. We're going to clean it up, so that means we're going to Teflon all the fittings, make sure there's no leaking, and then we're going to stuff it with a stainless steel. And then after that's all done, we're going to make our brackets to mount it. Now this is different for each car, of course. On my car, the kit comes with this little plate bracket. So this, it bolts to the back like so. You know, it goes on like that. Or you could probably go like this as well, I suppose. It doesn't really matter. Neither of those will work on my mounting. So what I'm going to do is take some extra steel that I have laying around, and we're going to create an extension off the bracket and mount it to there. So that'll be next, and then we'll do hoses, which will be real easy. So for hoses, we got our PCV hose here. They're stainless. There's our little adapter hose. There's one adapter. There's the other. And then our hose clamp and our original fitting. So basically, it'll go catch can fitting, little adapter piece with the hose in between, and then it'll go to our big hose, which will go to the engine. Real simple, real easy. Probably throw some paint on these real quick so they don't corrode, and I think we'll be good. So this is basically what we're dealing with right here. You can see this one has a loose strand. We're going to tuck that in. Those two I've already put in there, but you stretch it out. You know, you make it into a larger mass. I probably could have fit 4 in here, but 3 will do. So basically, it's real simple, pretty good quality stuff. So we'll stuff that full, and then you just seal it back up. And just like that, our catch can is modified. So real simple, easy. Those bolts are tightened up. Also check the top ones. So you can see, it'll blow right into that, breaking up all the oil from the air, separating it, and then catching it in here. So real simple. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap just a little bit of Teflon around these fittings and tighten those down in. The reason for the Teflon is it helps make sure there's a good seal about it. Just make sure you don't have any loose ends hanging around that could get sucked into the engine. And just like that, we are all done with modifying our catch can. It's been Teflon, those have been tightened down. The nice thing is that already has a rubber seal in the drain, so that's ready to install. So we're going to go ahead and throw our bracket on, this guy right here, and then see what it takes to mount it to here. Alright, so this is a little bit beefier than you need. This is like 3/16, but it's what I had laying around. You could do something a lot thinner. I'm not going to use the bracket it came with, instead of making my own. So I'm going to use that bolt right there. That's going to go underneath it. Bolt on there. Drill 2 holes in it, which will then mount to there. So that'll work perfect. So next up, we're just going to drill the holes. Okay, so our homemade bracket is all done. Just like that. Pretty easy. Really wasn't hard to make. So now it's just a matter of to bolt this in and cut the lines to length. Alright, so our catch can is completely installed. It's finished. It's done. I would like to get different adapters for that, but maybe at some point. So bracket's mounted. It's firm. It's very firm. Like I said, you don't need brackets that thick, but it does work well. It works great, and it definitely won't be budging around. So we've got our stainless steel scrubbing pads are inside of the catch can right here. Then we've got these with the Teflon tape. We've got our fitting screwed in and tightened down. Then we've got our hose, our first section of hose tightened down with hose clamps. Then we've got our adapters right here to the bigger hose, which then run or zip tied together to be separated or to keep them from moving around, you know, rubbing. And then we've got it into our breather on the engine side and into the breather on the intake. So overall, came out great. I spent less than 30 bucks, I think, on it, all in all. And I'm pretty happy with it. Should work great. I'll do an update later on it in another video if people are interested. But I think that came out pretty great for what it is. I'm pretty stoked about it. Alright, so that's just a quick little video for you guys. How to install an eBay catch can, modify it, make it better than just what you get from eBay. Honestly, I think it'll do just fine. And maybe it's not as high quality as some of the other nice catch cans you can buy. I think it'll do the exact same job. You know, sometimes that's all it takes. So, if you guys have any questions, comments, ideas, concerns about it, you know, drop them down below. More than happy to answer if I can and get to them. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the product. I'll put a link for it in the description, the one I bought, but there's tons of other ones that are very similar to it. Of course, you all have a great day, and thanks for watching Arsenal Garage, guys.